Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me today as we take a look at the new Mattel Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia Fisto. Now this figure did make a brief appearance on the channel on a short, little Amazon haul, and I am so excited to finally have this figure in hand, open them up, and let's check out Fisto. Now, living in Canada, it is a little tougher to get some of these figures, these Masterverse figures, or any figures from Mattel, because the distribution doesn't exist here. We have to go to Canadian online retailers to try and find these figures. But luckily, my comic book store here, my favorite comic book store, probably of all time. I've been to a lot of comic book stores across Canada and the US, but this one here, Galaxy Comics, here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, is a fine store that has an amazing selection of products, great staff, and they're my hookup for some of the Masterverse figures that I can't secure online at Amazon or some other Canadian retailers. So, very excited to crack this guy open the package. But speaking of package, let's take a quick look at these beautiful artwork on this package. You see Fisto in all his glory there with that full mechanical arm instead of just the fist for New Eternia. He's looking really sharp, battling some of these demons and goblins going on. And then we got a guest appearance by He-Man. He looks awesome. The artwork for He-Man and these packaging are just stellar. I want to see a really good He-Man like this. Now this does look like it's the Viking He-Man that we got a long time ago in the lineup. He has that same kind of loincloth, that symbol and emblem for his battle harness. He just doesn't have the shoulder pads or that Viking helmet, but that definitely is Viking He-Man, and he's battling another goblin there. On the back, we got a really nice shot of Fisto, all the accessories that he comes with, the interchangeability with his battle mace as well to go on his fist, the alternate head sculpts, the cross cell. Now this cross cell is a smaller one. You usually get 4 figures in a way, but we're only getting 3 now. Now, Flying Fist He-Man and Evelyn have not really shown up here at my comic book stores, but they're available on Amazon. And I paid about $30 for this guy here, Fisto. These are close to 50 here in Canada. I don't know why there's such a huge difference in price, but I'm gonna wait till these guys drop down in price and then I'll swoop them up. There's the little read up for Fisto as well if you want to take a look at that. Pause and expand if you need to. That Dastardly Skeletor, what a bad guy. But let's get this guy out of the package and let's take a closer look at Fisto. And here we go. We're taking a look at Fisto out of the package. He looks fantastic. I really appreciate all the extra attention and detail they put onto this figure. Mattel just knocked it out of the park. Now, what's really cool, and I appreciate this a lot, for a more powerful looking character like Fisto, he does have the new 2.0 He-Man body buck. So he's got the wider, broader chest. I took off the armor. It is a little difficult to get off with the little snaps and stuff, but he does have that new broader chest, which is fantastic. I really like the way this figure looks, and let's take him in for a little closer look. That head sculpt is so damn nice. Very reminiscent of the classics Fisto. I've seen pictures of that figure where he had the head ornament kind of details going on, and they look fantastic. And I don't have really any of those classics figures. I wish I did, but man, they are so expensive. Um, I'm so happy with this. This is such a great upgrade to Fisto. I love the attention to detail on the little fur pieces extending from his armor, the battle damage that he has, scratches, dings, dents, all in this armor, and it just looks so damn good. The purple, vibrant. I really love the purple, silver. Usually we get a bit more of a lighter brown, maybe sometimes, or a little bit darker. It depends on what you got, but this one's a very dark, saturated brown. The boots have some purple elements. Love that. And this arm. Let's take a close look at that arm. Now, the original did have a die-cast fist, which I thought was such a great touch. And man, in certain aspects, like I had these figures in my basement. I had my collection set up, and it's a little cooler in the basement, of course. And it's great. Love it in the summertime. I have my recliner down there. I have my action figures, my comics. It's my little safe haven. And you'd feel his fist, and it was cool to the touch. And that was such a cool little effect. But this one is so solid plastic. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the metallic metal elements that I really appreciated in that first figure. But this one does look great too. All the rivets, the hand, this looks like it's been punching stone. A little battle damage going on all the way up. Now, In the bio, it does say Skeletor took his hand. So did he take his entire arm as well? Did he cut it all off and blast it off with his Havoc staff? Oh, will be interesting to see. And even here, the little gears and the ratchets, that looks so damn nice. Very cool. Now, the articulation is going to be a little limited because it's, a bigger, chunkier piece of metal attached to his arm. It doesn't have the double jointed elbows, but still, this makes up for it in the detail and design. He looks absolutely awesome. Very well done. He does have a little spot for his sword, and I will go through all of the extra accessories this figure had. But yeah, just the sculpted detail and work on this figure, I'm really loving it. It looks absolutely fantastic. We'll run through articulation quick, so I really want to get onto the accessories. But he has your standard Masters of the Universe articulation. He can look up and down. The ponytail does inhibit the articulation a little bit, but man, it's just a cool looking head sculpt. Does have a little bit of side attitude going on. He has ball joints at the shoulders, bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows. Look at that, beautiful. He does have articulation in the wrist. These, of course, do come off. He can put his fist, that's included. Does have articulation there. He does have a diaphragm cut, but, and with these thicker inlays of rubber for the battle armor, he doesn't have much articulation going on. Of course, he can spin at the waist, ball joints at the hips, double jointed knees, full articulation and pivot with the boots. I love the boot cut there. It's blended in perfectly. It does have ankle rocker joint articulation, no toe articulation. Every time I see a figure and I look at the feet, Fairlane has kind of brainwashed me into thinking, oh yeah, every figure should have toe articulation. And I really wish these guys did, but he doesn't. But it's still a very phenomenal looking figure. Now let's take a look at some of the accessories you get with this figure. You do have this new sword for Fisto, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm a very pure traditionalist when it comes to Masters of the Universe. I really love the weapon he had on the original and the Origins figure and the other Masterverse figure, but this is something really nice, and it sits onto his back here. It does have a little slot for it, so you can just shimmy that in, and it sits pretty good. It sits a little high up for my opinion. I think this should be maybe off to the side a little bit more. It's a little high up for the holder and placement of it, but still, it looks good. And it's a place to put his accessories, so that's always appreciated. Now, the rest of the accessories we do get, a normal fisted hand, which, hey, if you want to put him in a battle pose or he's attacking with both fists, there you go. We have that option there. Sculpted very nicely. And of course, these master figures are really well crafted with really nice quality plastic, so you can feel the good quality on that. He does have this massive battle mace, which looks just spectacular. It is a substantial piece of plastic. It does have some good weight to it. Now, these are interchangeable with the fist, so you can take these off. I'm really not into that much. I think this would be cool, maybe, but I really don't want to put a fist on here. I've seen some other reviews that have that, and I'm probably not going to do that. What's really good about this weapon, it's sturdy, it's heavy, it's substantial, and the handle is not kind of under pressure from the weight of this part of the mace. It's not falling over, it's a solid piece of plastic. We'll see what it's like when he puts it in his hand, and if it does kind of, loosen the articulation, because this is pretty heavy, so we'll see about that. And then finally, we do get an alternate head sculpt for Fisto, a very traditional look, bearded, rough, rugged man. And I do have to say, when I took this out of its little plastic prison, this head sculpt reminds me of a dear friend that I lost a few years ago. It looks just like him, and it's so wild. Every time I see this, I see my good old friend PJ, and my goodness, I miss that guy. We had so much fun playing our Xbox games, talking stuff, and he was just a great guy, and I really miss him. But damn it, he's right here in action figure form with me. So hey, this is really cool. I really appreciate this. It's a great looking head sculpt, nice flowing hair. The beard is thick and full. Really looks like our traditional Fisto, and I just love it. Now, all these accessories came in this little parchment bag, and I really like this. Very cool Masters of the Universe in blue. So I really like how the weapons, accessories, and stuff that are tucked away on the side panel. There's like a separate compartment, and they're tucked into these little bags. The original figures from the first couple waves, of course, had nothing. Everything was out in the open. When they did the 2.0 kind of upgrade of the packaging, they had plain white bags, and now they've adorned the Masters of the Universe logo. Very nice. Very cool to see that. So let's take a look at this mallet, this battle mace, and see how it looks in his hand. Definitely a very substantial weight to this weapon. All right, and that goes into the hand pretty easy. Oh man, that looks fierce. But yeah, I was feeling that. It does have a lot of weight to it, so you can get it in that cooler kind of pose where it's over his shoulder, coming back from battle. But man, that looks so cool, and I really appreciate the way this figure looks. Now, oh, there's one thing about the articulation. We gotta go. It does have the drop down hips to give you some extra movement and articulation in the leg. So that's a nice little feature to have. So you really want to get some superposing and some crazy action shots going on, you can definitely do that. But yeah, I really like the way this guy looks. Fantastic job, Mattel. Very cool. Now let's try the head. Now, give me just a sec. We'll take a look at the head on this body buck. And there we go. We got the alternate head on, and this just looks like a classic, kind of slightly upgraded version of our original Fisto, but it is absolutely spectacular. It looks so fine. They did such a great job. The only complaint or issue that some people may have, it's not a huge big deal to me, but the articulation on this arm being so cybernetic and limited articulation, but the looks make up for it. Look at those spikes. Imagine getting hit with that fist. Damn, that's going to hurt. That's the only limitation I could really see with this figure and people having some issues with. The head looks fantastic. Either one, how you want to display him is going to look great. You could even use this head sculpt on, one of the Man-at-Arms Palace Guards if you really wanted to set it apart. I don't know which one I'm going to display. I think this might go on to an extra Man-at-Arms, but this head sculpt is just so good as well. I just really appreciate the detail, the battle weary, little older, that new Eternia look. That looks just great. So let's bring in some other figures to compare with our brand new Fisto. So the first one, of course, I got to bring in is our original Fisto that we got in the Masterverse lineup very early on. And just look at the size difference. He's a big boy. The new Masters He-Man 2.0 body buck is phenomenally big and bulky, as it should be for certain characters. I think it works fantastic with Fisto. If you put it on somebody like Buzzoff or maybe, Stratos, I don't think it would work as well because you don't see those guys as big, bulked out figures. But for Fisto, this is perfect. And the height difference, yeah, there's a big height difference. You do have that fist area instead of the entire arm being all mechanical. And of course, we got the die cast fist, which looks great. You do have, this is a custom we did a little while ago. We put on the extra head sculpt from our deluxe Man-at-Arms from Target. Yep, drove, 3 hours to go to a Target in the US to get that figure, and I'm so happy I did. And we got the original head sculpt for our Masterverse Fisto, which looks really good. Very bright and colorful. If I get I'm still kind of contemplating again a Origins Fisto because I really want one until we get a cartoon collection version, which will look really great, I'm sure. But I wouldn't mind putting this head on that Fisto. I really don't like the head on that Fisto too much. A little goofy. This could be a great alternative towards that. But having my two Fistos in the collection, man, it's awesome. I don't think you go wrong with Fisto. He's a great figure, awesome character. They look so good together. Nice upgrade. Then I definitely want to bring in a figure that I always used to pair up against Fisto, and that is Triclops. Is our new Eternia Triclops. These two guys look great together as well. They share the same sword, and I always wondered as a kid, why do they share the same sword? Did they go to the same blacksmith? Are they somehow connected? Were they friends? I always, as a kid, your mind wanders. And my mind and imagination was just wild as a kid. Still kind of is, but I thought those two look great. And these two look great together as well. This Masterverse upgrade looks phenomenal. Very good. And then, of course, I want to bring this guy in. He is our upgraded Man at Arms from Masterverse, the 2.0 collection. I really like this guy. You got so many different looks for him, the mustache look, the clean cut look. He could be your palace guard. He can be the Man at Arms. You can take off the battle armor. You can do so many things with these figures. That's just awesome. And seeing the two brothers from the 2000X series, Malcolm and Duncan, very cool to have these guys in the collection. Yeah, and the more I have this alternate head sculpt on Fisto, I'm really liking that one a little bit more than the alternate head, so to speak. Another figure I wanted to bring in because I just want to see how these work, and unfortunately, they don't work well together. There's such a crazy height difference in our Marvel Legend Hercules. One of my favorite Marvel Legends, a very small collection of the Marvel Legends I have, but man, I got some stellar ones. And I thought this could work. I did try swapping out the heads. Unfortunately, this head is just way too big. The indentation for the ball joint connection is massive on Marvel Legends. It is so big. Doesn't fit, unfortunately. It just wobbles around. Not going to work. But you could try and fake it a little bit with some, maybe a sticky tack or something like that, but I'm not into that. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, and that's good enough. But these two, not too bad, but man, I think Fisto would just kick Hercules' butt. Could work in a toy short of versus episode with a little bit of perspective skewed from some camera angles, so you never know. Stay tuned for that. I also want to bring in one of my customs that I've been working on, as you saw in our He-Man custom showcase that we did. We had 7 different unique He-Mans in my collection. So this is as close as I can get to a 2000X version, which I just loved. Hopefully Masterverse will be making a 2000X He-Man and some other characters from that lineup in that really amazing 2000X aesthetic. But these two guys look great. You can definitely see them on the battlefield. And I'm getting so many questions. These has appeared in another video or so, I think. 1 or 2 maybe. I can't, maybe 1. Well, 2. Yeah, 2 videos. But everybody's asking, what head is that? What head is that? That is our Icarus head from Marvel Legends. It works perfectly on these body bucks. Definitely grab yourself an Icarus. I don't know if he's available in stores anymore. I know where I live in Winnipeg, he is completely gone. That entire wave is pretty much gone. The Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. But I picked it up on Amazon for about 20 bucks. It was in my cart for almost 2 months, waiting for the price to go down from $37. Went down to 20, pulled the trigger, and I'm so happy. Now I gotta find a head for that Icarus figure, because that's an awesome figure. And one of my favorite kind of retro characters from back in the 70s, when I was reading my brother's hand-me-down comics, and they had tons of comics. I really just fell in love with the Eternals, the Jack Kirby artwork, then battling Thor. Just their place in the Marvel Universe was so different. Really cool. Definitely pick up your Icarus figure to make this custom. And watch that video. It's on the Mattel Masters of the Universe playlist that I have. And then I definitely want to bring in this bad boy. One of my favorites from McFarlane Toys. Yes, sweet old McFarlane Toys, who has no longer the license of DC Multiverse, coming to the end of 2025. They're going to be doing some figures till then. In 2026, Mattel is taking over. And I am very, very optimistic that we're going to get some amazing figures. If they're basing the body bucks or even tweaking this body buck from the Masterverse figures into a better version to create our Supermans, Batmans, Green Lanterns, Flash, Doomsdays, man, I cannot wait with bated breath and anticipation and a bit of fear and trepidation because my expectations are damn high. We'll see what happens, but in the meantime, McFarlane's doing a fantastic job with our DC Multiverse, and we could definitely see these two guys in a battle. Now, he is on a bit of a higher display stand. Let's just take him off of that just to see how they size up. And yeah, they size up very nicely. We definitely see these guys going into a epic battle for sure. And the last one I want to bring in is a bit of a custom Marvel Legend figure that I didn't know I wanted, and I am so glad that I have in my collection. That is Death's Head. He's a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. I picked this up on a work trip. at a GameStop in a very small town that had a hell of a lot of good figures. What a GameStop. It blows pretty much all the GameStops here in Winnipeg where I live. So many Marvel Legends, so many G.I. Joe Classifieds, DC Multiverse, Gundam model kits, tons of stuff, and lots of Star Wars. I was like a little too much of Star Wars because they were blowing them out. I don't collect Star Wars or Black Series or any of that stuff, but man, they had figures I remember for like maybe $9. They had a huge kind of display area that was off to the side, and it was full in piles and piles of Star Wars figures. So, hey, hopefully, maybe we see a license change in 2026. Because I've heard that the Marvel license and Star Wars are coming to an end with Hasbro in 2026. Doesn't mean that they're going to lose it because they'll probably renew it because Marvel and Hasbro Legends have been synonymous for over 20 years together, and Hasbro as well has been a hell of a long time. Would be nice to see some new blood. Maybe McFarlane Toys getting the Marvel license or Star Wars would be mind blowing, but who knows? We'll see what the future holds. But I love the way these two look. Now, this guy does have a swapped out head. We did a little toy surgery after I opened them, so I wanted to see who the heck would Death's Head be? Maybe under the mask. It's kind of a robot android kind of thing, cyborg going on maybe. But I just wanted to have it in my universe. Death's Head takes off his mask and he's got this wild face underneath. And that is from a Sabretooth from the X-Men series of Marvel Legends. I think it was the Bone Crusher Build-A-Wave, I believe. With the kind of a classic Sabretooth outfit with the orange and the brown and the fur collar. It's a great looking body buck, a little too small for the Sabretooth I was expecting, but the head sculpt looks great on this Death's Head, and we could see some major battles. He could definitely blend into the Masters of the Universe lineup, and he could be a serious threat to both Skeletor and He-Man. So use your imagination and have some fun with your figures. So there you go, guys. My thoughts and final thoughts, excuse me, on this figure. Definitely worth having. Definitely a worthy addition to your collection of Masterverse figures. It's a fantastic upgrade. If you missed out on that first Fisto, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think you're missing much. I think this is such a better figure. I would love to have seen this in, the metal that the original had. But just the aesthetics on this figure is so cool. The weapons that you're getting, the alternate head sculpts, definitely worthwhile and a great addition to your Masters of the Universe Masterverse collection. New Eternia has been kicking it, just making some stellar figures. And as always, it seems like every wave that comes out, we're getting better figures. And I've opened up a lot of these figures and been reviewing quite a few on the channel. And there hasn't been one that's been a dud, so to speak. We've had a couple in the McFarlane collection. I'm looking at you, Ocean Master, you sharp, prickly little son of a gun, man. You pricked my fingers so many times, and it's just a hollow feeling figure, which I don't like. But there has been far and few in between. In Masterverse, we haven't had that really stinker figure. I hope we're not going to have any, because I got a bunch of new ones I'm going to be opening up soon. But you're looking for this guy, he's available on Amazon.ca here in Canada. He's running about $30. I'm sure he's available in Amazon in America. Haven't seen them on any other kind of websites that I really don't frequent too often, but I'm sure some other Canadian retailers, retail online sites will have some. You're not going to find at Toys R Us or Walmart, but some of the other independent collector sites you'll find them, I'm sure. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your opinion is of this Fisto. Is he a worthy addition to your collection? Do you want to see him take on Superman, Death's Head, Hercules, other characters in some epic versus battles? Let me know what you want to see. And as always, I thank you for watching this video, supporting me, and subscribing. Make sure you want to join the team. Check out my videos, turn on the bell notification. And as always, I wish you all the best. And we'll see you next time in the next video. Take care, guys.